Hey, Mark Langner here with Professional Turfgrass Services. We're in Nashville, Tennessee. It's early spring in Tennessee, and we're part of a big project where they're doing a large regrassing on the golf course, including tees, fairways, a little bit of rough, and on into the greens. So what we're doing is we're doing the fairway area mainly. We're running the KORO 2.0 machine. What we're trying to do is take out about 1.5 inches of the top of the surface. The superintendent came in ahead of us, and he actually went in and sprayed glyphosate and fusilade to try to, weaken the current stand of Bermuda grass that was there. And then we've come back in about 5 months behind those applications, and we've started the process. It's a two-part process. The first lift we're taking off again about 1.5 inches, and then we're going to come back in and we're going to take off about 1/4 inch to 3/8 of an inch to get rid of the rest of the little bit of rhizome material that's there, kind of smooth the surface. But we're doing something a little bit different, and then we're taking the back half of the KORO off, and we kind of call this turf munching. And so what happens is the material is then just thrown back down to the ground, which gives the project manager of this job the opportunity to come back in with his box, float the area out with that little bit of spoils that's left there, and he can clean up whatever rhizome material is left and drag it off and kind of out of the way. So come out here with us today. We're going to show you the beginning, what it looked like when we started, what it looked like after the first pass, the second pass process, and then what the final looks like after they floated it all out. Okay, so this is where it all starts, and this is the area that's undisturbed that we're going to come in for phase one of running our KORO machine. The superintendent did a great job of making multiple glyphosate fusilade applications, and he did that about 5 months ago. Then, after we got into the spring, about a month prior to us starting this project, he came in and started verticutting, getting rid of a lot of the extra biomass up on top and getting it out of the way. So as we were running the KORO machines, we weren't collecting a lot of leaf tissue. Instead, we were collecting mainly soil, rhizome, and stolen material. I think it's made our process a lot easier, and the amount of material that we're hauling off has been reduced, and it's cleaner, neater, makes a beautiful topsoil. I would tell anybody who gets into any type of KORO work, any type of phrase mowing work, try to make plans to do something with that material. It's often perceived as a negative, all of that material that comes from these activities. However, it makes some of the prettiest topsoil if you could just find somewhere to put it for a little while. So now you know what we started with here. Now we're going to take a walk over and look at the first phase of the project. Okay, so we're here on the first phase of the process. Again, we're running an Imants KORO 2.0 with the Universe rotor. It's set at about 30 mil depth-wise. We're taking off roughly 1.5 inches of the surface, and you see some of the rhizomatous material that's left here. Not much, but it's just barely hanging on under there. So what we're going to do next is what I described as the turf munching, where we take another KORO machine set at approximately 5 mil, and we end up taking the rest of that material off the top and then leaving a little bit of dirt, so again they can come back in and float these areas out. It also helps to get rid of any of the unevenness in the fairway from taking off the first lift, and it really leaves a nice finished product, which we'll go look at here in a second. Okay, so that's the first phase of this operation. Now we're going to set up and go look at the second phase of the operation. Alright, here we are at step 3 of the process. And again, I think we underestimate what a KORO machine can do. We've taken an old 1500, we've taken the back half off, we've modified a shield across the back, and we're making a pass at 5 mil to loosen up the remaining rhizome and then leave a little bit of material like we discussed so that they can float this fairway out. This fairway has a lot of low pockets and a lot of bad areas that need to be filled in to smooth it out, and this right here, leaving this material, is going to make it so much easier. Again, we're running at about 2.2, 2.3 miles an hour with an old 1500 Imants KORO machine with the back half off. great tool for going in, strip an area, come back in, loosen the top surface, and you're ready to put your sod down. Okay, so now that we're about to be finished up, it'll take us an hour to do this final step. We're gonna come back in and we're gonna show you, again, Chris Morgan and his team running their final float and the finished product. So this is the final phase, and you're gonna see here that the results are exactly what they were looking for. Chris Morgan, the project manager with Southeastern Golf, done a great job, been great to work with, and this is after his team has come back through, used that little bit of material that was left on top, took their box and finished floating this out. This is basically ready for sod. The only other step that I say that you might incorporate into this is running an Imants Shockwave or some type of other decompactor so that you can break this surface just a little bit right prior to sodding and putting your grass down. So look again, after this final phase and the float out, all of the rhizome material is pretty much gone. It's non-existent. I think Kurt has plans to come back out and make a few more applications just to make sure. But I would again poke a little bit of a spike in here, just something to decompact that top surface, and this is ready for sod. All right, in summary of what all we've been doing here and we've been talking about, first thing that I want to say is we are not fraise mowing. This is more of a turf clean out. And we've utilized the Imants KORO with the Universe rotor because its adaptability and what we can do with it. We can do a complete turf clean out, or we can just go in and do a fraise or a light fraise mowing on existing Bermuda grass that you want to regrow in. But if you want to strip and get it ready to sod, this is a great activity and a great way to go about it. Let's repeat our steps again. Superintendent came in, he did an excellent job, you know, kind of getting rid of the biomass, doing the spray applications he needed, verticutting, getting rid of some of that loose material off the top. Then we came in, we ran our first pass at approximately 1.5 inches, then came back in and ran a second pass at about 5 mil to clean it up and leave a little bit of debris, and then they came back and did a finished float. That's the best way that I know how to remediate and get large acreage ready for sod on a tight window or tight schedule. And think of the other benefits. We're removing all of the poana seed bank. We're removing the other crabgrass and goosegrass in our market seed banks. We're getting rid of the thatch, the zone that is very difficult to grow turf grass in, that causes moisture issues, fertility issues, and fungi issues. So we're getting rid of all that, and we're out here pressing restart with this team. Thanks for coming and watching this, and if you want more information, contact us at Professional Turfgrass Services. We have a Twitter site, Instagram, and we have a web. So please come visit.